Okay. Regarding the Mulholland Drive, what is the theme of this movie?
Sammy, I never talk about themes. Um, a film is, when it's finished, all the elements together in a way that feels correct and feels complete. And that's what goes out. So it's since it's complete, in my mind, nothing should be talked about more. And it's a very big shame when something is finished and then people want you to translate it back into words because it never will work. It never will go back into words and be what the film is. It's like describing a piece of music. You don't hear the music; you just see the words, and maybe it conjures up a desire to go hear the music. But um, a theme, like some films maybe have a theme, and but even if it has a theme, it might be a different theme for different people who see it. So it's better to let people um, conjure up their own ideas, having seen and experienced the film.
Okay. What was the most important statement you wanted to make in this movie?
I wanted to make the movie, and what happens is, if we're lucky, we get ideas that we fall in love with, and then you have the great joy of translating those ideas into a medium, in this case, like into a film. And this is such a great journey, and it's so beautiful. That's the whole point of it, is to get lucky and catch ideas that you fall in love with, and then get to translate them into something, manifest them into something. And that's what it's all about for me.
What are the highlights of this movie?
A movie is itself a highlight. It's made up of many, many, many different elements. And each one is important, or it wouldn't be there. And you try to get each element up to 100%. You try. That's what you try to do, and keep working on each element. And one day it's finished. So that is the statement. That is the thing, and it's what it's all about.
This is a movie which is difficult to interpret or to understand. Could you elaborate on this?
Um, it's a lot like music. Music, they say, is an abstraction. It is very far away from words. And film is a thing that people, they want to uh, have an easy understanding of a film, whereas with music, they don't have that problem. There's not an intellectual thing going on, it's just an experience. But film has those same elements of just experience. Plus, film can say abstractions that can be intuited. So you use your intuition, and then an understanding comes inside you. And I think people should trust the understanding that comes to them from the experience. Now, it might be hard to take what's inside of you and tell your friend in words what that is. It's like a dream sometimes. You tell your friend a dream, and you can see in the face, they don't understand. The words fail you, but still you know inside. So it's not that difficult to understand if you trust your inner feeling.
Okay. It was reported that you had considerable thought about making up your mind on how to create the ending. Could you tell us the process by which you conceived the ending scene?
Okay. There's an ending, and there's an you have to uh, usually there's three acts. Most things there's Act One, Act Two, Act Three. And I don't really go by that, but it sort of ends up being that way, because it's a form. And since this started out to be a television pilot, which doesn't have an ending had to come somehow. And I didn't have any ideas for this ending. And one night, I sat down in a chair and I closed my eyes, and the ideas came. It's all ideas. So the ideas came, and then I knew what it was. Now, these ideas that came weren't just for the ending. They were for the beginning and the middle and the end, a whole shifting. So then we went back and shot several more weeks to finish the film that needed an ending because it's not a TV show anymore. So, but the ideas came in one night from 6:30 to 7, and they came.
Oh, that's great. Could you comment on your receiving or being nominated for many awards, including nominations for Golden Globe nominations, Golden Globe Awards?
When you finish a film, your job basically is over. And when you have a desire to share your work, and so you put it out into the world. And you realize that, yes, you can help the film some by giving interviews, or you can go to some places and have talks. But basically, the film is on its own, and you can't tell whether it's going to go good or going to go bad. It's important that you believe in your work, and that's the most important thing. And then when you get some awards or some nominations, that they say is frosting on the cake. But the cake itself is very sweet. That's the working on the film.
I see. It is said that you are the strongest candidate for the Academy Awards. Could you comment on this?
Sammy, I don't think I am. I think it's a very beautiful thing that Mulholland Drive has gotten as much as it has gotten, because it has these abstractions, and it's not a typical film, looking back, that you would say would get the awards that it's gotten or the recognition it's gotten. So something is happening in the world. But the Directors Guild didn't give me a nomination. And usually the nominations from the Directors Guild are the films that are nominated for the Academy Award. So I wouldn't count on an Academy Award nomination.
I see. One more question. Okay, so finally, could you make a message to Japanese fans?
A message. The message is that ideas are everything. Nothing happens without ideas. And these ideas for Mulholland Drive, for me, are like a blessing, because I fell in love with these ideas. And always hoping that others would feel the same thing that fired me up to make the film. So it should be seen as an experience in a brand new world. And if there's problems understanding, it's the intuition that saves us.